Hey everyone, Shane McMurray from the Wedding Report. I want to thank you for joining me. This year we're going to start a new series in our video podcast series. And we're going to do a couple of different things throughout the year. But to start off, the first series of podcasts and videos that we're going to do has to do with venues. And we're going to specifically focus on catering, the rentals, the bar service, and basically the venue location. So we'll be interviewing the owners or managers of those facilities or those services and sharing with you what they're doing and what's going on. So hope you enjoy it. We'll also be doing some other things throughout the year and maybe switching a couple of things up. Got a couple other things in the works for you, so look for that as well. This first one, meeting with Roger in Houston, Texas, and so enjoy. Roger, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your business, your website, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Shane, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm Roger Igo. I'm the president and CEO of Bell Tower Group, LLC. And Bell Tower Group, LLC owns and operates a Houston venue, Houston, Texas, called the Bell Tower on 34. And
Nice.
so I work as the CEO and president, but I'm also the head operator of the venue.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went on the website and looked at the site. The property is amazing. So
Thank you.
yeah. How long have you guys been there?
So I built the location from the ground up. There was a barn there before that burned down, and I've been there since. Well, officially we opened in 2009.
Wow.
And so I've been running it ever since 2009. So 13 years. We just had our 13-year anniversary.
That's awesome. Congratulations on
Thank
13
you.
years. Yeah, that's fantastic. So tell me, like, what's the one thing that you get excited about when it comes to the work that you do?
Well, we're data driven and we're very process oriented. And so what I like is in weddings and events, there can be drama. And what I really like to work on a day-to-day basis is that drama. So whenever that happens, something that causes drama, that's my signal to get to work. And it usually means that there is some kind of either a broken process or a missing process or a missing process owner. And so I looked at as the absolute best opportunity for improvement so we can run our operation more efficiently and eliminate that drama forever. And so that's a big challenge, and that's what I love. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to look at issues that come up. I wouldn't really necessarily categorize them as drama, but that actually is not a bad way to categorize process issues that come up, and then you can, deal with them and correct them. Yeah, very good.
I love it. That's the favorite part of my, and by the way, not everything is easy. The low-hanging fruit we fixed the first year in operation. But we still have some issues that we've just never had the best solution for, and so we look to have a solution that can last forever and be a self-sustaining process solution, so that my successors won't ask, well, why wasn't this solved before? And so we have some lingering and just nagging issues that we've been facing sometimes for a decade. That we still know, yep, it's still on the drawing board. We're still figuring that one out.
List, yeah. Is it because you can't, like, there are technologies or things that don't exist today that help you solve that problem, or is it just something that's like it's such a bottom of the list? Yeah, we'll get to it at some point, because a lot of times it's priority, right? Like you've got a list of priorities, and yeah, we need to fix this thing, but it's just easier just to leave it. Right. I've noticed that.
Yeah. And so sometimes it's just a very complex issue that is, the last thing we want to do is to set policy or make a rule or some set policy and then have to unwind a bad policy later. And so sometimes we just, if the frequency is very low and it doesn't happen often, then it just turns into kind of a case by case. for now as a holding place until we can come up with, again, like a self-sustaining solution or policy. So yeah, sometimes technology does come into play and help us figure that out. Maybe a decade ago, they didn't have that particular platform or that particular mechanism, and nowadays there is. So sometimes we do use technology to help us with new policy or problem solving that way, so there's no drama.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, when you look at a problem that you have and you go, well, if I automate it or if I do this, what's the return on the investment? Like, if it's, like you said, if it's one of those things that happen every once in a while, it's kind of a case by case basis, and you just deal with it. The cost of sometimes solving those problems are out, you know, way more than just dealing with it on a case by case basis. So you just go, all right, well,
oh yeah,
I'm just going to deal with this as it comes up, and we'll leave it at that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So tell me, so if I was getting married and I contacted you, tell me what kind of process I would have to go through when I call you guys or email you, or what does that look like?
Yeah. So on our website, it's an automated calendar. You can schedule up to 2 weeks in advance, because we found 87% of appointments are within 2 weeks. People that want more than that, they have to call in and talk to somebody. If you're not want to just schedule an appointment after seeing our website, if you have interest, and it's more of our non-bridal prospects, they will call the main number, and it's our goal to answer the line on the first ring.
That's
and
great.
So the policy is if you answer the phone and you're one of our salespeople, that's your prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And so generally you come in, you do kind of a self-guided tour. When you do come in, there's reminders and the usual appointment text reminders and emails. Yeah. And you kind of do a self-tour. We have a large location, and we found it's better when prospects get a chance to discover our campus on their own time. And then after they're finished with their self-tour, they can meet with their representative. Our representatives are called event producers. And then we have a proprietary app that allows us to give proposals within 15 seconds.
Wow.
And those are emailed and texted. And so if you wanted different combinations or different series of, days of the week or times of year, we can do those iteratively, as fast as we can turn them out every 10 or 15 seconds. And we can email it or text it or both. And so that gives you a chance to take it home and visit with friends and family or parents, or talk it over, or go see other venues. And what we do is we actually allow them to hold the date. We do it 100% refundable $500 deposit, and let you hold the date for 5 days. If you decide you don't want to, we'll give you your $500 back.
Nice.
And so nobody else can book that date while you have that. And if you see the numbers and the matrix and you decide you are interested, well, we will send you a link to your customer portal. We have an app. You can log in, sign your contract, and pay. And then from there, it takes you through the client journey all the way through to event delivery.
Nice.
So that's generally the client journey, and we help you. Your tastings are automated. Your bridal portraits are automated. Scheduling your final, your different appointments, final details meetings. Those are all done within the app, and we just kind of help keep you on track electronically using our app inside of your customer hub portal. And then we have a 24/7, it's around the clock FAQ and knowledge base, where you can send questions in and then get a response from a team member very quickly. And you can hit the button that says I'm unhappy at any time, and then I get notified, and then their representative gets notified, and whoever gets the message first responds right away. So
that's great. So how many people do you typically will schedule an appointment online versus calling you guys? Like Is it?
It's 80/20.
Oh,
And just like our bridal and non-bridal, we have 80% bridal and 20% non-bridal. And the online booking to phone call ratio kind of follows that same pattern as far as
nice.
volume goes.
Yeah. And how many weddings you guys do in a year right now?
So we do 320
Wow.
events a year. And so what we find is we keep about 200 events in our future pipeline, but when we do the 1 year look back, we will have delivered over 300 weddings.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
that's just because of the short-term bookings.
Yeah.
There's about 100 weddings a year that book within 12 months.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I was going to ask you, so like, when, what is the like advanced book? Like when should I be booking? And then what's reality right now? I know there's a lot of people getting married right now. So what's reality and when should I be booking?
Yeah, so for us, we're starting to see a return to a 12 to 15 month lead time for weddings. We're a large venue and we have multiple spaces, so we do have some availability for our short-term bookings. And generally, the short-term bookings are more of the non-bridal nature. And then, so we have availability this weekend,
Yeah.
and it's not because it's just because we have many spaces.
Yeah. I was going to ask
And
you how many spaces you guys have at the,
yeah, so we have 9 different spaces, and our events usually, each event for weddings anyway, usually have 3 of those spaces. So we could have 2 or 3 weddings at a time, and
nice.
and oftentimes we do, and we also have different day parts. So we might have 3 weddings Saturday morning and then 3 weddings Saturday night.
Wow.
So 8 to 10 on a weekend during the busy season for us.
Yeah. So what's like, so you say morning and night. So like how many hours does that represent for a couple? Like for,
So daytime events must end by 4 p.m. and evening events may start after 6 p.m.
oh, okay.
And so we like to give them 2 hours for load in and setup, and we give them an hour to load out. So there's generally 2 hours in between the day parts.
I got you.
And so we help them. We help the vendors. We hope they're using professional vendors that know how we work,
Mhm.
that are capable of getting in and getting out. So we
Yeah.
don't like to load in throwing out.
Yeah, right. So if you had to give couples specific advice today, what specific advice would you give them?
I have kind of I'll just say it's 70% of your invited guests will attend. That's what I've seen over the last 13 years. 70% of your invited guests will attend. Also, when you do the look back, you will have spent 30% more than your budget. So if you had a $20,000 budget, when you do the look back, you will spend 26,000. And I say that, but it's not necessarily that they're spending all of their overage with me. It's just
Right.
when they do all of the add up.
Yeah.
So that's generally for here in the South. We're in Houston, Texas. I don't know if it's the same all over, but that would be my advice to couples is, and then also take it easy, have a sense of humor, not everything is perfect. And please don't hand your planner or your representative a thick book. The thinner, the better, because unless you just want a keepsake that's that thick about your wedding, probably not going to happen like that, no matter how good your planner is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
things happen. Yeah, that's for sure. And especially today, I mean, I would recommend patience for sure.
yeah.
Patience and understanding because things are going on that are outside of everybody's control.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say you are seeing that couples are asking for today? Maybe that they today versus like maybe maybe a few years ago, like pre-COVID.
Yeah. So the big one is what happens if there's COVID? and what is your plan if there's a pandemic? And so there's questions about rescheduling and or cancellation, and what is your policy on, say if that happens again.
Mhm.
So our solution is we call it rescheduling insurance, but it's a form of a rebooking fee. And so we offer that in-house. And then we also strongly recommend postponement or cancellation insurance, which we found through COVID, almost nobody really canceled. They almost all rescheduled. But postponement or cancellation insurance, companies like WedSafe, they offer that.
Yep.
We tell them, go get that, and we will reimburse your master account for up to $400. Just send us the receipt.
Mhm.
And usually it's $350, $400, $450, something like that. So it's really you if you do the legwork. I'm not going to do it for you, but we suggest they take our rescheduling insurance or go get somebody like WedSafe,
Mhm.
and at least to help with that. And then if there is a government shutdown, it's a 100%, no questions asked, refund.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much you can do about that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those just happen.
That's if you want that. We prefer you just reschedule.
Yeah, that's the
which
best
is what
option.
almost everybody did last
Yeah,
year,
for sure.
or not last year, 2020, with COVID.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys had quite a few reschedules, right?
We rescheduled over 200 weddings.
Wow, that's just unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
what can you do? There was really nothing we could all do. So, yeah. So last question, Roger, if you had to go back 3 to 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, yeah, I wish we had the rescheduling insurance, the rebooking fee in place. I mean, that would have been an amazing add-on to have been offering all along. It certainly would have helped us through COVID. And I would also say, Roger, you're doing a great job. I mean, I'm so proud of us. I think we've done a really good job, and just staying the course and continuing to work through those process management. I feel like in the last 3 to 5 years, we're working on the very little, minutia part of the process. Pre-COVID, I wish I would have said, Roger, save your money for a rainy day.
You're right.
But thankfully, they came up with some government solutions and bailouts and whatnot, which I never would have been a fan of until I needed it. We needed it for the venue. But save your money for a rainy day is probably not a bad piece of advice for future Roger.
Yep.
Or if I had to go back and do it all over again. So that would be a big one.
Yeah, good. Roger, thanks so much. Tell me your website again and your Instagram account.
Okay, so our website is thebelltoweron34th.com.
Excellent.
And from there, you can get all the social media. I can't think of it off the top of my head. There's so many channels these days. But yeah.
Roger, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. And
sure.
have a good one.
Thank you very much.